On va
Oui,
discuter quelques expressions en français que vous devez savoir et maîtriser. Donc, par exemple, on commence avec l'expression c'est du gâteau. C'est du gâteau. Quand on dit c'est du gâteau, c'est-à-dire ce n'est pas difficile. Si quelque chose est facile, par exemple, un examen, après avoir fini de composer ou bien d'écrire un examen, quelqu'un peut dire c'est du gâteau. Quand on dit c'est du gâteau, c'est-à-dire ce n'est pas difficile, c'est très, très facile. Lorsque quelque chose est facile à faire, on peut dire le travail, c'est du gâteau. La tâche, c'est du gâteau. L'examen, c'est du gâteau. L'exercice, c'est du gâteau. Le devoir, c'est du gâteau. C'est-à-dire, ce n'est pas facile. Ce n'est pas difficile. C'est très facile. C'est compris, non? Par exemple, Kofi dit que l'examen, c'est du gâteau. C'est-à-dire, l'examen n'est pas difficile. C'est facile. L'examen est facile. C'est bien compris? You understand that?
Non, monsieur.
Oui, monsieur. Oui, monsieur.
Non.
Oui, monsieur.
Non.
C'est compris, non?
Oui, monsieur.
Okay. So, c'est du gâteau. C'est du gâteau. Like when there's an issue, like you write an exam, or you assignment, or you carry out a duty or a particular task, and you find the task not to be difficult, to be easy, to be simple. So instead of saying that, oh, en français, c'est facile, instead of saying c'est facile, you just say c'est du gâteau. C'est du gâteau. If you take it literally, just like, oh, it's like cake, it's sweet.
Piece of cake.
And it's like cake. Cake. You know, cake is sweet. So you say that, it's sweet. Once you write the exam, after the exam, then you respond by saying that, oh, it's sweet. It presupposes that ce n'est pas difficile. It's not difficult. It's simple. It's easy. Or a cocoa. You get it? When one says that a cocoa, it means that it's not difficult.
Fofole.
Difficile. Donc, il faut comprendre ça bien. Kofi dit que l'examen, c'est du gâteau. C'est-à-dire, ce n'est pas difficile. Ce n'est pas difficile, c'est facile. Ce n'est pas difficile, c'est facile. Ce n'est pas difficile, c'est facile. C'est facile, ce n'est pas difficile. Donc, il faut comprendre ça bien. On continue. Avez-vous des questions? Sinon, on continue. C'est en forgeant qu'on devient forgeron. C'est en forgeant qu'on devient forgeron. C'est en forgeant qu'on devient forgeron. Hein? C'est-à-dire, on ne peut pas avoir l'habilité ou la capacité de faire quelque chose sans pratiquer ou bien sans la pratique. Il faut pratiquer. Il faut, avant d'avoir la capacité ou l'habilité de faire quelque chose, il faut pratiquer. On ne peut pas avoir l'habilité de faire quelque chose sans pratiquer ou bien sans la pratique. C'est ça, en anglais, on dit, qu'est-ce qu'on dit? En anglais, comment on dit ça? C'est en forgeant qu'on devient forgeron. En anglais, qu'est-ce qu'on doit dire? Qu'est-ce qu'on doit dire en anglais? Comment ça se dit en anglais? How do you say that in English? C'est en forgeant qu'on devient forgeron. We have the equivalent in English. Pour avoir l'habilité ou bien la capacité de faire quelque chose, il faut pratiquer. Vous ne pouvez pas avoir l'habilité ou la capacité, le pouvoir de faire quelque chose sans pratiquer. Ou bien sans la pratique. Il faut pratiquer avant d'avoir la capacité ou l'habilité de faire quelque chose. You need to practice. We need to rehearse in order to be skillful, to be well-versed in doing things. If not, you will not be well-versed, you will not be competent or efficient in carrying out your duties or doing something. So you practice. And there is equivalent in English. Practice makes what?
Man perfect.
Perfect. Practice makes perfect. That is equivalent. C'est un forgeron qu'on devient forgeron. Practice makes perfect. This is fixed idiom or proverb. You can say practice makes good. Practice makes wonderful. Practice makes skillful. Or no, you say practice makes perfect. Practice makes perfect. So you need to practice doing what is right, what is acceptable, what is good, so that you'll be perfect in doing it. Like learning, you practice speaking French, you become perfect in speaking. See, you practice learning, you definitely be efficient. Just as our motto says, knowledge comes from learning. For you to be knowledgeable, skillful, competent, you need to learn in order to know it. So, il faut comprendre ça. That is it. So the equivalent, you can take note of that. I didn't write the English here, but know that this is practice makes what perfect. Practice will definitely, when you practice, definitely you become perfect in doing so. Good. So you need to be perfect, as the word of God says, be perfect, even as your heavenly Father is perfect. But do the right thing in order to become perfect. Good. Être comme les deux doigts de la main. Être comme les doigts de la main, like, you know, like the two fingers. Like to be close. The expression is to be united, to be one. Le couple est toujours ensemble. Ils sont comme les deux doigts de la main. OK, c'est-à-dire, ils sont inséparables. Ils sont inséparables. Ils sont les conjoints. Ils sont conjoints. C'est à cause qu'ils ont dit le couple est conjoint. Conjoint. Conjoint veut dire le couple. C'est-à-dire, c'est comme le couple et conjoint sont les synonymes. Sont les synonymes. Le couple, couple. So we don't normally say the couples are this. No, when you are referring to a husband and wife, you say the couple. The two shall become what? One. The two shall be one. The two shall be one. So the word of God, the Lord Jesus said, what after the wedding, that's what normally the officiating ministers usually say, after any holy matrimony, blessing the marriage, then the minister will say, what God has put together, let no man, no woman, no witch, no wizard, no small witch or small wizard put asunder. Okay? C'est-à-dire, ils sont conjoints, united, one. That is the meaning here. Inseparable. You can't separate. Inseparable. You can't separate them. So you can, the opposite is separable. But when they are inseparable, c'est-à-dire, ils sont amicaux. They are together. They are one. They are united. Ils sont unis. C'est ça. Donc, il faut comprendre ça bien. C'est compris, non? C'est bien compris? So, take note of these expressions in French. You need to know them. Donc, jeter l'argent par les fenêtres. Jeter l'argent par les fenêtres. These are idiomatic expressions or proverbs we are discussing. So we need to know them in order to use them in sentences or construct sentences with them. Construct meaningful sentences with them. Jeter l'argent par les fenêtres. If you take a little, it's just like throwing money away through windows. You throw money down the drain. So it means to throw money down the drain, like to spend anyhow, without taking into consideration the cost or whatever you have to do. No, it's not proper to do so. So you need to know that this is the infinitive form. When you are conjugating, it becomes double T, two T's here. So c'est mon ami jette l'argent par les fenêtres. Instead of saying that your money is careless or aimless or that spends money anyhow, you just say that mon ami jette l'argent par les fenêtres. It means, c'est-à-dire, elle gaspille, elle gaspille de l'argent sans compter. He spends money anyhow without taking into consideration, without counting, without checking, okay, taking anything into consideration in life. So, c'est-à-dire, il gaspille de l'argent sans compter. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, and you need to know the conjugation of jeter, jet. It will be double T, two T's here. To jet, also double T. You'd have to double the T. Il jet, double T. Nous jetons, only one T. Vous jetez, one T. But when it gets to the plural form, third person plural form, il or elle, they throw, then you double the T as well. So, nous and vous, one T in conjugation. So here, as I said, for operational French, not just going to ask you to conjugate or form sentence of the word jeter. You need to know the meaning so that in the expressions here, how to form meaningful sentences. Good, how to form meaningful sentences. So il faut comprendre ça bien. Bon, il n'y a pas de fumée sans feu. Quand on dit il n'y a pas de fumée sans feu, c'est-à-dire il y a la vérité. Il n'y a pas de mensonges, ou bien tu ne peux pas mentir. C'est-à-dire, vous avez entendu quelque chose, et il y a des rumeurs, et il y a beaucoup de gens disent beaucoup de choses, et vous dites que non, et on ne peut pas, il n'y a pas de fumée sans feu. C'est-à-dire, on peut avoir quelque chose de vrai. Et il y a toujours quelque chose de vrai, quelque chose de vrai, quelque chose de vérité dedans. Ce qu'on dit. So normally you have the expression, there is no smoke completed in English. There is no without fire. So that talks about that there might be an iota of truth in whatever rumor you might be hearing or that might be going on. That is equivalent. Il n'y a pas de fumée sans feu. And you need to take note of the structure. Just like in English, there is no smoke without fire. You should know that you can't go say there is no smoke without wood, and it will be accepted. There is no smoke without candle. There is no smoke without lantern or something, and it's accepted. It's fixed. In English, in French too, il n'y a pas de fumée. Look at the structure. Sans feu. That's it. If this one is dropped, you should know that this is what you should write. Take note. Merci bien. Good. Sécher les cours. C'est la même chose comme faire le corps buissonnière. Sécher les cours, c'est la même chose comme l'expression faire le corps buissonnière. C'est-à-dire, il faut conjuguer sécher pour former des phrases correctes. OK? Il faut former des phrases. Il faut conjuguer ça. Et faire aussi, il faut savoir comment conjuguer le verbe faire. Je fais, tu fais, il, elle fait. Nous faisons, vous faites. Vous faites. Vous faites. Et il ou elle. Il faut compléter ça pour moi. Il ou elle. Il ou elle.
Le fait.
Encore? Il ou elle?
Le fait.
Oh non, 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 ce n'est pas ça. Il ou elle font. Il ou elle font. Font. F-O-N-T. You have to know this. That is why we didn't start by taking you through some idiomatic expression. We did the conjugation, first group, second group, third group verbs, and what have you. You need to revise all that so that you can follow what you are doing. I beg, revise it so that you can do well this semester. This is operational French. This is not functional French 1. Neither is it functional French 2. As I said, we need to apply all the skills or the knowledge you have acquired when you were taught or when you were going through functional French 1 and all that functional French 2 and apply them accordingly. So you should be able to conjugate the verb sécher, faire, and what have you. Yes, merci.
Monsieur, good evening.
Oui, bonsoir. Ma sœur, ça va bien?
Ça va très bien, monsieur.
Dieu merci.
Please, are we supposed to write the expressions in French in the exam?
Yes, even in the exam, you have to write in French because the course is in French, sister. For
Yes.
instance, if I write the expression, ce garçon n'aime pas fréquenter le corps toujours, n'aime pas fréquenter le corps. Il ne vient pas le corps souvent. C'est-à-dire, il dash le corps bisonnier. You should be able to complete it. It means he is truant or he plays truancy. That is why I'm teaching you in French and then telling you the meaning in English because we are doing French. Even last semester or first semester, I taught you first semester. I think all the questions, even the translation, were asked to translate from English to French because it's French course. So, sister, definitely you must provide the answers in French, not in English.
Monsieur,
Wait,
please, the first semester,
Mercy, is
you
that Mercy talking?
translated. No, please, this is Miss
No, please.
Mabel.
This is who?
Mabel Ziga from Whole Campus.
Okay, have you raised your hand?
Yes, please.
Okay, let's wait more. Mercy, are you okay with the response?
Sir, I'm just thinking of how to memorize all these things and write. Because even reading is a bit difficult.
Oh, you don't need to memorize. Try to understand. Okay? Once you get the understanding, you don't need to memorize it. So just as I'm giving you the meaning, faire le corps bisonnière, sécher le cou, the meaning, the conjugation, you know it. You get it. Try and learn it. Okay? I'll give you the videos, the slides, and you go through petit à petit, l'oiseau fait son nid. And let your motto encourage you. Let your own motto, the university's motto, knowledge comes from learning. So once you learn, you know it, and you'll be able to write. Okay?
Okay.
Boom. Yes, Mabel. D'accord.
Monsieur,
Let's listen to
please.
Mabel.
Your previous slides part was in English, but it seems this one is pure French. And I think it will be very difficult for us to understand when we are learning on our own.
Okay, Mabel, what I would say is that you see that some of them, you see the English there. If the English is not there, and we have French there, which means I want you to master the specific French expression before getting it in English. So as I try to explain to you, try and write it. But some of you don't write anything. You want to see everything French, English, French, English. If you do that, I will not help you. I want you to get some of the expressions. Like this one, I explain it in French for you. If I explain it in French, I explain it in English here, your concern will be on the English expression, not on the French expression. But over here, I want you to get the English explanation, French explanation. For instance, n'assistez pas au cours quand on a le cours magistraux, ne pas aller en cours quand on a cours. N'assistez pas au cours quand on a le cours magistraux. Ou bien ne pas aller en cours quand on a cours. Try and be encouraged because now this is the third time you are doing French. So the level must be a bit higher. So try and follow. Petit à petit, you get it. Where it's only in French, for instance, and I've explained it in French and you are still not getting it. Ask me, monsieur, what does this mean? And then I will explain to you, even in French and English at the same time, and you write it somewhere, the English one. That will help you to learn. The best way to learn is not to speak even English with you or to explain anything in English with you, but try to explain everything in French so that you get the words or the expressions, so that you can operate in French. And everybody will know that you have really done operational French because you can operate in French. D'accord?
Oui, monsieur.
So that is it. So try and follow. Yeah, par exemple, yeah, Daniel avait le coup.
Come on, mute yourself.
Yeah, yesterday, Daniel avait le coup de français. You see, I've explained that in English. Yesterday, Daniel was to have French lesson or class, and English or / English class or lecture. Il a fait le corps bisonnière. He played truancy, or he was truant. That is to say that he didn't attend the lecture. Il a fait le corps bisonnière. Yeah, yesterday. He was truant, or he played truancy yesterday. Instead of attending the lecture, instead of attending French class or English class, he played truancy, or he played hooky. Hooky. When you go to the US, they say to play hooky. When you go to the UK, we say to play truancy. And in French, the equivalent is elle a fait le corps bisonnière ou fait le corps bisonnière. The expression here, faire. And I was saying that we should know how to conjugate the verb faire. So that if you want to say he plays truancy or he's playing truancy, they are playing truancy. This faire is fixed. The faire is fixed. You can't go and say use anywhere there. Like you look for the word jouer because you say to play. Don't look for the word jouer, which is to play, literally means to jouer, like jouer au football, jouer au tennis. So that you say that jouer, then you say no, jouer means to play. So if the expression to play truancy, then you go and look for it and conjugate il joue, no. That it doesn't hold water like that. This is an idiomatic expression, and the correct verb is faire for all the tenses that we need to use to conjugate. Is that okay? Yes, Covenant.
Evening.
Wait, Covenant. Bonsoir, on t'écoute.
Sir, Mr. Please, Simon's microphone is disturbing us.
Again?
Simon's microphone is disturbing us.
That's Simon. His microphone is disturbing.
Okay, Simon. So Simon, let me see if I can mute everybody, and if you have any issue, you unmute and contribute or ask your question. All right, bien. Okay, so can you continue? Bon.
Oui, monsieur.
Yes, sir.
So everybody should be conscious about his or her mic. If you know you are not talking, can you remain muted? Unless you have something to say before you unmute. Bon. So you can see that elle a fait le corps bisonnière, elle a séché le cou et elle est allée en vie. You can say elle a séché. Elle a séché le cou et elle est allée en vie. It means that he played truancy, he didn't attend class or the lecture. So try and get the expression very well, okay? And you conjugate the verb, and you form the idea according to the construction. So let's continue. More examples. Appeler un chat. This appeler un chat, I think we did that first semester when we were discussing the expression on appeler et s'appeler. Appeler un chat. C'est-à-dire dire la vérité. Le contraire, c'est dire le mensonge. Le contraire, c'est dire les mensonges. Appeler un chat. I remember I was in class one day, and then I gave this particular exercise. There was a test, and this expression was there. And somebody raised their hand to tell me that there was a repetition, so I should cancel one ensha, because appeler ensha. Can you say it's repeated? Ensha is repeated. Ensha. Can you all see that? So there is an error. So I was called to come and change it, and I said no, ce n'est pas une erreur. Ça ne peut pas être une erreur. It's never a mistake or an error. So we have to take note of that. It's an expression, it's an idiomatic expression Appeler un chat un chat. What does that mean? And it means dire la vérité. Dire la vérité means to tell the truth. To tell the truth. And the opposite is what? Le contraire. You see what I've written? Le contraire, c'est, that is the opposite is dire les mensonges. So as usual, you know how to conjugate the verb appeler, and you should know how to conjugate the verb dire. And then you can form a sentence like, vous devez appeler un chat un chat. Vous devez appeler un chat un chat. Appelle un chat un chat. Appeler un chat un chat. So what is the equivalent in English? Appeler un chat un chat.
Call a spade a spade.
I hope you should be able to get the meaning quickly.
Call a spade a spade.
Très bien, that is it. Call a spade a spade. So you need to know the meaning, and then you can form meaningful sentences with that. Appeler, so you can say, vous devez appeler un chat un chat. It means you must call a spade a spade. You must call a spade a spade. And here to appeler un chat means call a spade a spade. This is appeler un chat, call a spade a spade. But the difference between this, can somebody tell us the difference between appel un chat and appeler un chat? Quelle est la différence? Appel un chat, appeler un chat. Quelle est la différence? What's the difference? If you want to comment, raise your hand and comment, please. Si vous avez des commentaires sur ça, appelle un chat, appeler un chat. Oui, Adèle. Oui, monsieur Adèle.
Sir, can I try?
Oui, vas-y.
Sir, I think one is present and one present tense.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think the first one is in the present tense or something.
The first one, the present tense, and the second one is all
Past. Past tense.
Monsieur Adèle, okay, you have tried. Mais ce n'est pas ça. Ce n'est pas ça.
Me d'abord.
Ce n'est pas ça.
That one was d'abord. Says me d'abord.
Who spoke? Is it Adèle who spoke?
No, d'abord.
D'abord, okay. Mais ce n'est pas ça. If you have it, you raise your hand. But I say Monsieur Adèle. Have you raised your hand? Who is talking now? Is somebody?
Sir, I was the one who spoke.
That is d'abord.
Yes, please.
Okay. Bon. So listen carefully. Appel un chat. Appeler un chat. Have you heard of imperative statement? An imperative statement or command. It's a form of imperative statement. And this is what imperative statement is usually in the present tense. Both sentences can be considered as what imperative statements or expressions. And appel un chat, call a spade a spade. Appeler un chat, call a spade, the same meaning. But the difference is that if for instance, d'abord you want to refer to mercy, there is an issue, and you want to tell mercy, the mercy, call a spade, then you should say mercy, appel un chat. You are referring to a colleague, somebody you are familiar with. But for instance, if monsieur, just as I was trying to prove that I submitted the results about 3 or 5 months ago or so, and it's not, let's assume it's not true. You have the evidence or the proof that monsieur never submitted it. So Mercy can raise her hand and say that monsieur, appeler un chat. Monsieur, Appeler un chat un chat. It means say, call a spade a spade. Simply because you call somebody monsieur, you should use the vous. And this one shows that it's the vous form, but you shouldn't say you call a spade a spade. No. For the command or the imperative sentence or structure. We have it in English. And we do say it a lot. But it's a get up, stand, eat, go. These are imperative sentences or statements. And in French, we have two forms. We have two forms. The two form, that is tout appel, tu appel. If you want to say tu appel, like you call, tu appel Kofi. And if I say you call Kofi, and then I say call Kofi, then I don't have to say tu again. I just say appel Kofi. And then this appel will not take the S as well for the imperative. But if it's tu appel Kofi, you call Kofi or you are calling Kofi, then the appel should take S. But if I say call Kofi, appel Kofi, it should be like this. It shouldn't take S. It shouldn't take S. And for instance, if the whole class is telling a lie or saying something that is not true, I can equally tell you, hey, mes étudiants, faites gaffe. Mes étudiants, faites gaffe. Appelez un chat. Because you are my students and you are many, I shouldn't say appelle un chat. Je dois dire appeler un chat. Do you see the difference? C'est compris?
Oui, monsieur.
Oui, monsieur.
Très bien. D'autres expressions, lâcher la lampe. Lâcher la lampe. C'est-à-dire casser sa pipe. Il faut voir ça. Now the equivalent is here. Here I wanted you to see the English, so I put it there for you to know. I don't need to explain. Ne pas avoir la langue dans sa poche. Ne pas avoir la langue dans sa poche. C'est-à-dire, il ne faut pas être quoi? Silencieux. Il faut parler, il faut exprimer, il faut dire quelque chose. Parce que la langue, on doit parler une langue. On ne doit pas avoir la langue dans la poche, ou bien dans sa poche, ou bien dans votre poche. Il faut parler la langue. Donc, quand on dit ne pas avoir la langue dans sa poche, c'est-à-dire il faut parler facilement. You have to talk easily. You have to express your opinion. You have to air your view. Do you see that? You have to air your views. You have to air your views. You have to express yourself. You have to say whatever you want to say. Okay? Without fear. Okay? That is the meaning. Ne pas avoir la langue dans sa poche. If you take it literally, it means that not to have language in one's pocket or bag. Yes, you see the meaning, because for language, do you put any language in your pocket or bag or sack or luggage? No, you need to speak. You need to speak. You need to speak. A language must be spoken. So that is what you mean here. Before comprendre ça, it means you have to express yourself, and it means parler facilement. Parler facilement. So in the exam, for instance, if you say a sentence is put like il ne faut pas avoir, ou bien ce n'est pas conseillé d'avoir la langue dans sa poche. C'est-à-dire that to say that il faut parler facilement. Il faut parler doucement. Il faut parler rapidement. Then you should choose which one, facilement, not rapidement, not doucement. You get what I'm trying to say? Like you construct a sentence and you ask you that it means that what? You have to speak easily. You have to express yourself. Tâter le terrain. Il faut tâter le terrain avant d'agir, mon ami. Il faut tâter le terrain. Tâter le terrain, c'est-à-dire évaluer une situation avant d'agir. Évaluer une situation avant d'agir. You have to assess every situation before you act, so that you will not be regretful or remorseful afterwards. You need to assess or evaluate your action, the situation before you act. Particularly when you are annoyed or angry. Okay, when you are furious, we should be careful before you act. So the expression is tâter le terrain. Tâter le terrain. Tâter le terrain avant de voyager. Il faut tâter le terrain avant de voyager. You have to assess the situation before you travel. Il faut tâter le terrain avant de marier. You have to assess the situation before marriage. You don't get up and then say, I'm going to marry the lady or I'm going to marry a woman. No. You have to tâter le terrain. Il faut tâter le terrain. C'est très, très nécessaire. Il faut tâter le terrain. Mon ami, il faut tâter le terrain avant de faire ça. Il faut tâter le terrain avant de voyager. Il faut tâter le terrain avant de, comment dirais, de faire quoi? De marier. Il faut tâter le terrain avant d'aller à l'école. Il faut tâter le terrain. Il faut tâter le terrain. C'est bien ça. Appel à minima et appel à maxima. Appel à minima means in English, what does it mean? I hope those of you are taught first here, you should be able to tell me.
Say d'abord.
Appel à minima. What does it mean? We did that when we were discussing, we discussed expressions on appeler et s'appeler. First year, we did that. So our intention didn't bring this. If you go and look for your, I want to advise you or encourage you to go and look for your slides, first year slides on expressions on appeler et s'appeler. You see these expressions there. Il faut appeler un chat, appel à minima, appel à maxima. They are all there. So appel à minima et appel à maxima. What is the difference? What is the difference between the two sentences?
One is maximum, one is minimum.
Raise your hand so that I'll call you by your name, please. Raise your hand. Il faut lever la main. C'est comme ça, il peut vous adresser par votre nom. Kwame Davo.
Hello, monsieur.
Oui, je t'écoute, Kwame.
Yeah, so the first one is minimum, and the second one is maximum.
Kwame, okay, you have tried. But who else? Qui encore?
Minimum, okay, sir.
You have tried, Kwame, mais ce n'est pas ça. Ce n'est pas ça, Kwame.
Oui, monsieur, oui, monsieur.
Ce n'est pas ça. Quand on dit ce n'est pas ça, it means ça.
Hey.
Ce n'est pas ça. Ce n'est pas ça. ça. French
is it not minimum?
French is like
minimum call. Okay.
Ce n'est pas ça. It's not minimum call. Good. So listen carefully. These are the two words or the two expressions are legal terms. Legal terms. Okay, legal terms. When you go to court, you should hear of them. And as I said, when you go and look for that slide, I taught you first semester, level-handed, isn't it? Go and look for the slides on appeler et s'appeler in case you have it. If you don't have it, maybe I'll check out. Let you have the slides on that so that you know some of these expressions. When we treated that one, we have a lot of proverbs there, but those days I didn't want to bother you so much of the meaning. So appel à minima. Appel à minima means appeal by prosecution against the leniency of a sentence. Maybe let me minimize it and type for you so that you get what I want to say. Can you see what I'm tapping? Can you see?
Yes, we can see what you are tapping.
Okay, appeal by.
We may say.
Bien. Prosecution against the leniency of a sentence. So this one, if you don't understand, go and find out to know the meaning in English, or go and ask any lawyer, they will tell you the meaning. Okay, and this one, appeal by, so it has got nothing to do with minimum and maximum. Appeal by prosecution against the harshness of a sentence. So, appeal by prosecution against the leniency of a sentence. For instance, if maybe a 56-year-old man is accused or is being accused of being defied, or who are defied, if a 56-year-old man happens to defy a girl, maybe a class 1 girl, and is taken to court, and then the judge will say that because it's your first time, go and spend 5 months at Insawam and come back and continue eating, continue with your dubious or demonic practices. Then one will say, no, this is the sentence is so lenient. And if it's so, then the judges or the lawyers will say that they have to go for appeal by prosecution against the leniency of a sentence, because you have defied someone's daughter, a class 1 girl, and then you are going to spend only 5 months at Insawam and come back and continue with your dubious or demonic practices in the society, which is not advisable. But if there is a case, for instance, somebody stealing a fowl, and then that is the opposite, appealed by prosecution against the harshness of a sentence. Somebody has stolen a fowl, taken to someone, and then the taken to court, and the judge will say that go and spend 5 years at someone prison. Go and spend 5 years. How many years? 5 years for stealing. Somebody will say a common fowl. Everybody say so. Just common fowl. Why should it be so? Just a fowl. Going to spend what? 5 years. Then everybody will say that if you are not satisfied with the judgment or the verdict, you need to appeal. You have to opt for appeal by prosecution against the harshness of a sentence. The sentence was too harsh, isn't it? So that is the meaning in French, appel à minima et appel à maxima. Merci beaucoup. C'est ça. Si vous avez des questions, vous pouvez poser. Alors, avez-vous des questions? Si vous avez des questions, c'est à la fin. C'est à la fin pour notre discussion pour aujourd'hui. Si vous avez des questions, vous avez des commentaires, il faut dire ça vite. Je vous écoute. Avez-vous des questions? Avez-vous des commentaires? Je vous écoute. Avez-vous des questions? Avez-vous des commentaires? Avez-vous des problèmes? Avez-vous des difficultés? S'il y a quelque chose qui n'est pas clair, il faut me dire. C'est comme ça, je peux vous expliquer. If there's something that is not clear, you can let me know. Sinon, on peut terminer. C'est ça. C'est la fin de notre cours. Merci beaucoup. Avez-vous des questions sur ça? Do you have questions on that? Est-ce que c'est clair? C'est clair?
Oui, monsieur.
Avez-vous des questions?
Oui, monsieur. Oui, monsieur.
Oui, monsieur.
Avez-vous des questions?
C'est clair. Oui, monsieur.
C'est clair? D'accord. Merci bien.